Okay, so now we just need to publish this thing, and there's a couple of pieces of advice here. The first thing is that I'm going to, this is a template, but we've also populated it with this case of the nighttime lights. And so I'm going to actually say that this is no longer my template, that this is going to be my um, changes in the night app. And I'm going to go File, Save As. And in my 251 here, I'm going to create a new folder called Apps. And then this is going to be my changes in the night. And I'm going to say OK. And so even though I didn't have a folder, it's by typing in apps with a slash, it's now created this folder and it's created this changes in the night app in there that now runs. And so, and that way I can go in and kind of like change this template in the future for another case, um, or maybe make a copy of that. But I have the version of this saved as a separate script so that, um, which is helpful. So then I just need to go up to apps and it's going to kind of swirl around for a while. And, uh, and then you just want to say like new app, and it may ask you about the cloud project that you want to do this in. You can pick. Uh, Let us know if you start running into problems here. I'm just going to throw this into edu apps, um, and if you want it so that only you, I think you can say only you, and that would be fine because you're probably not sharing this with a group, so it doesn't need to be a cloud project. Um, and But I'm going to say, um, yeah. So why don't I just do that? Because I think this is probably how most of you will do it. So only I can edit this in the future, and that's fine. And then here it is. So what do you want your app to be called? And I'm going to say that it is going to be called. Um, for me, it's going to be the week 11 kind of app demo. Um, but for you, it might be your nighttime lights app or something. Like you probably want to give it a name because sorry, it's going to appear in your list. I'm just going to leave that alone. Um, and if I say next, the current contents of the editor, yes. And I'm going to say go ahead and feature this because it's going to be viewed. And the app is powered by Earth Engine, and say no, this is going to be um, a using additive color to visualize changes in nighttime lights or something. You just want to give it a description, and if you say publish, it'll think about it for a while, and then what you should have is I think it's going to be over here. I have a lot of these. Week 11 demo, you should see. That means that it's publicly visible. And so if you click here, it's going to take you to where the demo will appear. And that's one of the reasons you want to kind of come up with a nice name is it's part of the web address for this thing. Um, and eventually that will come through. Another thing that you might be interested in doing is if you um, go ahead and I'm just going to take a quick screenshot. So I'm going to say, um, all right, I'm just going to kind of focus on a kind of a cool part of it. So I'll just say, boom, and uh, and I think that gets thrown on my desktop. So if I go over to my desktop, I now have that screenshot there. And if I go back to the Earth Engine and to this page, and I go back to the apps, and I go back to this demo. Sorry, I don't want that. But if I go to here, it's going to take me to this details page. And now I can go to this, and if I click on that, it's going to allow me to go to my desktop, and I think that's the one I just took, and I say open, and it'll now add that little thumbnail to here. And if I say update, um, okay. And so there's a couple more things I'd like to kind of show you about these. And the first is that if you just remove the specific thing and go to view, or maybe go to, that might be Siri, might be coming in. Sorry, Siri, I didn't need you. Um, Invalid trajectory. Yeah, so if you just go to your account name.users.earthengine.app, that's going to get all of your featured apps either showed as a mosaic or as a list. Um, and somewhere on here, there should be my week 11 app demo. And so it'll kind of appear like that. And you probably will have one of them, but this is the little Earth Engine page. Okay, the last thing I wanted to kind of show you here is that let's say you go in and you decide that you want to change something. Like let's say that you're not so interested in the orange, or yeah, let's say you're not so interested in the orange, and you decide that what you would prefer is just that regular old color that we had. So let's say that you prefer the light yellow and that you just want this to go back to typeface, but you make some kind of a change, let's say, um, so that it's no longer like that, it's just like that. And now you want to push this change up to your app. So I'm going to save, and I'm going to go to the apps, and I'm going to wait for it to think through, and I'm going to find the week 11 app that I did, this one right here, and I'm not going to look at the app itself. If I clicked on this, it's probably live now. It usually takes a minute or two. But then if I go over to here and say app source code overwrite with current contents of editor and say update, it'll kind of think about that. It'll work. I'm going to close this, and then if I go to here and refresh it, I've now kind of updated the app. Is that fair? So that's up to you. But that's just kind of trying to show you how once you publish this thing, you can uh, change your script and push revisions um, even after you've pushed the publish it. Is that okay? I think I'm done with this. So that's the end of this. Congrats, you have a template and you've published your first app maybe, and I'm going to sign off.